Hello. The Athanasian Creed was written about 360 AD. It was named after Athanasius, Bishop of Alexandria in Egypt. Whether he actually wrote it after all these years we don't really know, but presumably it had his approval since it has his signature. It appears as something to be said in pretty well every prayer book past and present, since it's an ancient document defending the doctrine of the Holy Trinity. But in over half a century of vicaring, I've only ever heard it used once. That was by me. It didn't go down well. When you look at what it says, you can understand why. Here's a bit of it. Which faith, unless everyone do keep holy and undefiled, without doubt he shall perish everlastingly. And this is the Catholic, small c, this is the Catholic faith, which except a man believe truly and firmly, he cannot be saved. Well, this isn't the kind of stuff that goes down well in our tolerant, easygoing society. Furthermore, what's all this ancient, dusty stuff got to do with you and me today? The main point of the Athanasian Creed, which bangs on at great length about the nature and truth of the Holy Trinity, is to help us realise that, at its heart, the Christian faith does not go with the flow. It isn't just another religion. The Roman Empire, in which this creed emerged, was very easygoing when it came to religion. You could worship whatever gods you liked. Indeed, the Romans would happily add your gods to their team. For instance, the ancient Britons worshipped Sulis, a goddess who lived at a spring of sulphurous water in Somerset. She got incorporated, and the place became known as Aquae Sulis, the waters of Sulis, now known as Bath, during the Roman occupation. Religion then owed its basic framework to Greek thought, so much so that it was said, when Rome conquered Greece, Greece conquered Rome. In other words, the whole Roman Empire took on a Greek philosophy and a whole Greek way of looking at life. Simply put, Greek thought said that salvation was to be found by escaping from the trials and tribulations of this world into mental achievement or the realms of the supernatural. You can see the continuation of this in our own time, in our faith in education and our increasing use of drugs. Christianity, on the other hand, believed salvation was to be found in obedience to God's will for you. You could be saved and be a plumber, if that was your calling from God. Now, why am I diving back into these ancient controversies? Well, we've recently concluded the Lambeth Conference of worldwide Anglican bishops. If you followed it, you'll be aware that a rumbling disagreement between bishops from the West and bishops from the Third World has come to something of a head. A lot of Western bishops, particularly those from North America, want to endorse homosexual practice and homosexual marriage. The Third World bishops are having none of it. Now, leaving aside for the time being who's right and who's wrong, the Third World bishops have a problem which the West seems totally unaware of. Either that or it's not bothered about it. Talk to people of any faith in Africa and they see homosexuality as unnatural and sinful. This opens a door to Muslim propagandists who will say, look, these Christians approve homosexuality. Join the true faith and become a Muslim. Western media seems blindly unaware of this. Listen to the BBC World Service, which goes all over the world, and you will hear the LGBT worldview continually promoted. I suppose if you believe in automatic, unstoppable human progress, it's nice to think that you're at the front of it. Everyone else is lagging behind, and it's your duty to bring them up to where you are. To go back to the dusty days of Athanasius, parts of the Christian world went with his definition of the Trinity, and parts didn't. The parts that didn't said, though they may not have realised it, that Christianity was just a religion among religions. At its heart, there was no essential difference between the Christian worldview and other religions as a way of salvation. This hardly made it worth dying for. When the Muslim warlords eventually turned up and said, "You convert or you die," why die for a faith which essentially was no different from anyone else's? Hence, Northern Africa, Turkey, and the Middle East, originally Christian parts of the world, are now mainly Muslim, Christians there being a minority increasingly discriminated against. The same African bishops are aware could happen to the whole of Africa. Could it happen to Europe as well? Bye-bye.